Today is July 1st, 2026. Now, we're at the 50% mark. And I remember when it was January 1st, and I was thinking back and I was like, wow, how fast has time went by? I haven't even realized, how fast time goes. And this is why it's so important to spend your day doing what you love. And actually, tomorrow is my birthday. And I guess it's a motivation that we're at that 50% mark, and I'm able to celebrate my birthday. But what's after that 50% mark? What are you gonna do for the remainder of the year? Because if you continue living like how you've been living for the first 6 months of the year, nothing will change. And I've had this realization recently that you know how we spend our days, our time, really dictates everything in our life, right? And that's why they say, if you hang around with five losers or people that are unsuccessful or like to drink, like to smoke, kind of have that continuous habit all the time of not necessarily leveling up or being the best versions of themselves. um, you should definitely distance yourself from those people. Obviously you have friends, that you can hang out with occasionally, or people that see once in a while. But the truth is, you need to sacrifice. And I think that's one thing that you can take away from this video is the word sacrifice. A lot of people nowadays are not willing to sacrifice friendships, relationships, bad habits, doing stupid things, drugs, alcohol, whatever you name it. They're not willing to sacrifice it to get what they want, because having all these things that are accessible, friends that drink and smoke and go out, um, these bad habits that we have, just chilling on the couch and watching Netflix, this is not going to get us where we want to be. So we have to put our foot down and realize, if I want to be able to start this business or have a successful business or be in the best shape of my life, I need to start today and not look back. And it's kind of crazy because I even remember years ago when I was in a position where I couldn't do anything. Like, I just felt like my life was on go to work, clock in, go back home, and sleep. And it was the same the next day and the next day. But the truth is, if we are able to wake up, have a set schedule of how we are going to achieve our goals, we will get there even faster. And for me, when I say sacrifice, because everybody can say the word sacrifice and just say it, but when I say sacrifice, what I'm pretty much saying is if you wake up at 8, wake up at 6. Your friends are going out for the weekend, don't go with them. You know, keep your distance if it means achieving your goals, because if you're going out every weekend, you could have spent that time actually working on your business. And the most successful people treated their business like the first priority in their life. If they didn't feel like they were doing good or making money or feeling confident in their business, they are not going out. So if you aren't feeling confident in your business right now, you have no place to be drinking, smoking, or going out or having chill time with the boys, because it's not necessarily going to benefit you. It's just pushing you behind. It lowers your testosterone. Your emotions are all over the place when you drink and smoke and party and engage in those activities where it's just low vibrational. And when I say sacrifice, again, the word sacrifice, this doesn't mean you have to cut everybody off. Obviously, you do as you choose, but keep the people close that benefit you in your life. You can obviously have time with people that are not on growing as a person or doing the same interests as you or hobbies or whatever, but find the correct people to surround yourself with, because that's going to elevate you. And maybe you don't have those friends, and it will take some time, and you need to go to events, you need to go to gatherings, you need to look online and see what's going on in my niche, whatever it is. But back to the main point is 50% of the year is over. If you realized how fast this year has went and really understood, look back at these 6 months. What have I accomplished? What have I done? What can I do differently? What's something I've been worrying about that I just need to let go? What can I do tomorrow for the remainder of the year, these next 6 months, that will elevate my life, my business, and my happiness? Write that down. Write that down on a piece of paper, because when you write things down, it becomes into reality. You'll feel it, you'll live it. Just don't think about it right now on this YouTube video. Actually take out a pen and paper, write it down. What am I going to do tomorrow to make myself feel better? How am I going to do it? Where am I going to go? It could be anything. If you want to record a YouTube video tomorrow, record that YouTube video. If you want to go to the gym, go to the gym. Don't say things, do them. And it's a problem with our society where, you know, friends, people, or people you probably met once in a few times, they talk and talk and talk, but never actually go after what they want. And that's a source of just, letting your dopamine go up and, feeling good about yourself. But the people that win in life, don't need to say anything. They move in silence and, um, you know, do as you please. But we need to understand that life is short. And I feel like these years, 2025, 2026, 2026, have been extremely fast. And it's kind of scary that, life just goes too fast. And it goes faster and faster and faster every single time you get older. And this is why, but back then, before, I didn't prioritize the gym. Now I'm prioritizing the gym more. And, I look back and was like, if I started going to the gym at 18, you know, how would I look today? So you need to prioritize things in your life that will benefit you. Because if you prioritize the wrong things, drugs, bad friends, going out, partying, that's not going to get you anywhere, but some cool memories. But if you generally want to sacrifice making money, building a business, changing lives, you need to sacrifice a lot of things. And you could have the argument that yes, there is people that drink, party, smoke weed, and still make millions, but those people have millions in their bank account. They weren't smoking and drinking and partying on the way to their success. They weren't doing it on the way to success. They realized, hey, this is a bad habit. The people that I'm around with all the time are not influencing me to be better. This is bad energy, and I realized that I need to distance myself. I need to stop doing drugs. I need to stop partying. I need to do this in order to get the goal that I want to achieve. Whether it's money, whether it's being more happy, whether it's getting a car, it could be anything. And the end result is never money. It's how you feel. Because being confident every day and waking up with happiness is one of the most important things, and one of the most things that people don't have. People walk around today low confidence, head down, not really caring, just kind of miserable in life. But when you sacrifice things and go after what you want, you have an endless amount of happiness and gratitude and feeling great about yourself because you took that leap that most people don't do. But I will see you guys soon. Remember, time goes by fast. Do not waste a single day, um, you know, scrolling reels or doing something that's not beneficial. Obviously, there's a time and place for everything, but focus the remainder of this year on being the best version of yourself and actually doing the things that you want to do.